welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Jeanette Stein, a seasoned business coach, and she specializes in harnessing the power of AI and automation to accelerate business growth. Welcome to the show, Jeanette.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, KJ. Good to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India. And I'm sure not just in India, but and not just in Michigan, but also in many other places across the world. This will benefit to a lot of people. So coming straight to the point, Janet, my first question to you is that you seem quite positive on both automation and AI. At the moment, a lot of people have their own thoughts about everything going automation and a lot of things going AI. What is the reason you maintain so much of positivity around AI and automation?
Yeah, good question. Because I'm very careful where it's used. I don't believe in a fully automated or fully AI built business. I know you see those make $1 million, just throw it into auto GPT and go. But I do believe that using automation and ChatGPT to personalize those automations can really enhance how you serve your clients, how you onboard them, how you deal with customer service can be done faster so that you can really use that time as a business owner to work on your business, not necessarily always in your business. And so I'm very selective of where the automation is used and how it is used. A lot of times my automations will write your rough draft to those email replies, not just send it off without your eyes on it. Things like that can really speed up how fast you can serve your clients without sacrificing the quality.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's nice to know, because somebody who is closely associated with harnessing the power of AI and automation for business growth is also looking at things from a human perspective, and exactly only you add only as much sugar that is required in your tea or coffee. You don't put beyond that, otherwise it will lead to problems, health problems. In the same way, we got to be cautious about how much automation how much of our lives we are automating, how much of AI we are using in our lives. But to talk about businesses, there are a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, who are a bit hesitant about incorporating AI and automation into their operations. What advice would you like to give to them about the benefits that they may be missing out on?
Yeah, so if you think about the repetitive tasks you do over and over again. So for example, I have a client who is constantly copying files and then sending a quick email to the client to give them. She renames them and then sends them out. Is it really going to hurt the personalization if we can automate the copying of those files and the renaming of those files? The time that she saved, she can now put back into serving those clients at a higher level. So a lot of times people are thinking, well, I'm just never going to talk to my clients because of the automation and the AI. I'm actually the opposite. I would like to see that you can serve your clients at a higher level and we automate those things. So for example, if you are repeatedly getting the same question asked over and over from many people in customer service or before they purchase, yes, of course, you're going to update maybe your sales page or update your processes to eliminate some of that. But wouldn't it also be nice, just like if you have a saved reply, but why do you have to go find the saved reply? Couldn't we automate that and allow you more space to work with your clients and have that time to work on your business, growing your business, working with your team to build it? And so if you're a little bit nervous about it, the one thing that I would really suggest is that you go in and play with ChatGPT. You go to openai.com, set up an account. And what I like to say is talk to it like it's your 14-year-old niece and tell it what you want. Will you please reply to this email? I want to sound. How do you want to sound? I want to sound encouraging. I want to sound whatever your business voice is, put that in there and tell it to reply to that email and see what it comes up with. If you're nervous about it, you need to think about, what do I hate doing when it comes to writing? Start there, start simple. What do you hate writing out? Emails, sales pages, and ask it to do some of those things so you can see the power of it. That alone might help you. Now, if you don't like it writing your things, the other place you can start is have it evaluate. So if you're running a small business and let's say you're using email marketing and you're noticing, shoot, my open rates have dropped below 20%. Put your subject lines into ChatGPT and ask for help. If they're not clicking through, put the email in there and ask for help. How would you improve this? The goal is to get people to click through. And just get some feedback to see the power of it. That alone can help your business to grow very quickly. It's like paying for, a really high-end copywriter, but you don't have to wait for the lag time, and you don't have to dish out all the money either.
Right, right. It's good. A lot of businesses are now using Chat GPT and a lot of other AI tools. And now, amidst all these things, you see, Google has already said we won't be encouraging too much of AI generated content. Other places are also looking at it. At the same time, you have got AI also trying to find out AI content. AI itself is creating, AI is trying to help you to find out AI generated content. Amidst all this, Jeanette, is that a business, especially small business, they are attuned to mostly dealing with clients directly, having that special individualistic sort of a communication, and the clients are also accustomed to that sort of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you start creating content to communicate with your clients, to those people who you have been dealing day in and day out, how do you maintain that personal touch in the language that you communicate in? How do you bring that level of automation but do not lose out on that personal touch?
Yeah, so I use an acronym. A lot of people do nowadays. It's called TEV. T for tone, E for emotion, V for voice. So T for tone, meaning how do you want to be known? If I said, what do you want to be known as a business owner? So KJ, when I think of you, I think of inviting, I think of a leader. You want to be a connector. You're very good at like reaching out, getting people connected to you. Those type of things. What emotion do you want them to feel? You want them to feel respected. You want them to feel valued. You want them to feel encouraged. You want them to take action on what they've learned, right? Like that's why you have this show. And then finally, the voice, I think, is the secret sauce. How do you talk? Like you talk about like, I have the people here, not only in Michigan, not only in India. There's certain phrases you say that I just have picked up on because I've listened to several of, your shows. And there's also, you might call them memory hooks, right? Those memory hooks. What are those? And you list those out in your voice. When you do that, it allows those type of things to come back through in the content that's written, in the email that's written, in your social media posts that might go out. By having that consistently defined in a way that represents your business, and and you play with that TEV doc until it represents your business really well. Now you could just do a text expander and put it in every single time you use ChatGPT for your business. And it's going to have that personal touch that's really going to help you out and help you to not have to refine the output so much when you're done. It should really dial it in quite close. But I always say, read it over. If it's not something you'd say in person, if I'm not going to say it to you, KJ, right now, it should not be in my output, my chat. And I will add that to my voice. I do not say this and make sure that way I don't have to type it in every time. I've got my one doc. I copy and paste it into my what they call a prompt, the instructions every single time. And now it dials it in for my voice, my personalized way of talking.
Wonderful, wonderful, great suggestions and great observation. Why I use certain words that I have learned through a lot of understanding, and finally I have figured out, and also to bring that SEO into perspective. That if there are people, say, in your home state from Michigan, or then it will throw up in certain context. And even for me, while I starting, it can sometimes get repetitive, but I need to also bring out that India angle also, and that brings that connect between Michigan, USA, and India, and globally also. You are telling your viewers, or even to the uh, to the to the bots that listen, these are the places which are, these are the entities which are important for this particular show, and it might help. And nowadays a lot of tools also get integrated as we go along. These searches will settle, and this is what we need to learn to make our content much more say understanding to not only your customers, but also to the algorithms, that they understand your content and bring out your content in the right manner to the right people who are looking for such sort of a content. So right, and that is why I said great suggestions, great observation indeed, Jeanette. So now let's ask you a bit more about this, is that in terms of using your full-fledged AI and automation, what are the things that businesses need to be cautious of, and how do you work out the customer service part of it? Because one is the reaching out to your customers through about your service, about your product, but what about the customer service? A lot of complaints nowadays is about that you can't reach the human, you are only reaching to the bots. How do you ensure that you don't create another bot, but it is much more of a human centric? Or even if it's a bot, I don't know, how do you still maintain that human and humane part of all this thing that you are doing?
Yeah, there's two different types of customer service with automation that I've seen. I've seen the chatbot. We've all seen the chatbot that shows up. I think the most important thing with a chatbot is, if you choose as a company that that's how you want to go, is that you're very honest with your people that this is a chatbot, and if you want a human, this is how you do it. And some people even name it; they make it fun. And if I were to do mine, it might be Jeanette's assistant, right? Like, hey, this is Janet, the AI assistant for Jeanette. Here's how I'm going to help you. But if you want to talk to Jeanette, click this button, right? And so it's fun. We have fun with it. We name them, put it in there, but always being, first of all, upfront that it's AI. Tell it we're doing our best, but if you ever see something that you don't like or you want a human, click this button, and always have an option for a human. The second thing, if you are going to automate it, you really need to map out and think about your clients ahead of time and make sure you train that bot very carefully on exactly what you expect and what you've seen repeatedly. So, for example, if I'm working with a realtor, they see certain questions. If I am working with a digital designer and helping them automate those questions are going to be totally different, right? And when I work with you, I'm going to ask really specific questions about what they get into. The second type of customer service I've seen is if you use a resource like Zendesk, Help Scout, where all the tickets come into, you can actually use the API, or ChatGPT can be pulled in and write a rough draft. And then a human reads it over, makes sure it's accurate, and then they send it. Both of those save a tremendous amount of time. The nice part about ChatGPT is it can be if-then. So if you're using something like Help Scout, Zendesk, and you're asking it to write a rough draft, it can say, well, if they say pause, answer this way. And you talk about how they might pause their membership, right? If they say this, then this. And you can really get those to be really effective and save your customer service, whether that's you as the business owner or an employee, an amazing amount of time that would allow then for other activities that might be more income generating, right?
Right, right, Janet. Now, several people have this concern that that if I automate everything, then there might be one day that that automation something will go wrong, and I will be just stranded. How does one de-risk themselves or himself or herself from this? It is the fear, the cyber thing. We just don't know how. Recently there was this case of airlines, all so many of them got grounded because of one thing or the other. Now it's in the global world, or on the information superhighway or the internet superhighway. Everything is so connected. How do you automate, but as well as be also in control, that if anything goes wrong, my business will not suffer. I will be in business, not out of my business for whatever time it is.
Yeah, so there was like just an example of somebody, a company that was thinking of getting rid of all of their customer support for the call-in, and this was for something that was really sensitive for recovering alcoholics, and it was giving bad information, and obviously they scratched that. You cannot, just like you would never hire an employee and not have any checks and balances that they're doing what they say they're doing. You would make sure to have checks and balances. Now, I've done this for clients where we have, if it's customer service that is purely automated and you don't have human eyes on it, I have it automatically once a month send, like, the business owner or whoever is overseeing that operation, they would get a reply to make sure that it's once a week in the beginning, once a month as it goes on, to make sure that it's giving the information that you want it to. So making sure that you have those checks and balances in place. So if it's creating your blog posts, if it's creating your social media, blurbs, whatever it's doing, you do need to have checks and balances where you're seeing it. So maybe every 10th one, it's actually tagging you so you don't forget to look at it. Like, we want to make it in your face type of checks and balances that really help keep everything aligned. So you as a business owner, just like this, treat this like an employee. How would you check them? What would you be looking at? What numbers do you need to know that this is actually working? And make sure you're following those just like you would any other employee.
Wonderful, wonderful. You have given some great perspective into these things, Janet, and I'm sure your clients must be benefiting a lot from you. For those people who would want to, connect with you, what can they expect in terms of what are the things that they can think they can take your help in, if you can tell about them, and what is the best way for them to connect with you, so that they can take your help and grow their business by using AI and automation?
Yeah, you can find me at JeanetteStein.com. At that spot, I offer workshops, and those are being added every single week. Those are low-cost paid workshops where you walk away within 1 hour with something completely finished. So whether that is 100 social media posts, whether that's the about page that actually drives sales, whatever that is, those workshops are there. I also offer one-on-one consulting, as well as done for you services. And those require a phone call with me so that we can look at your business, make sure that your business is ready for those systems to be automated and set up. And I can help you get that ready as well. So it's pretty exciting to see where people are spending their time and how I can help. It's usually more than people expect. People think, oh, it'll just be answer a few customer service emails or just do this. And usually there's a lot more that can be done that will improve your client experience while decreasing your time spent doing it. So it's pretty exciting. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, pretty exciting and lot of fun. And indeed, even this discussion was lots of fun, lots of information. So with this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.